All right, hi everyone. Morgan Zaretsky of. Oh, my phone's beeping already. Sorry, turn that on silent. Trying to make sure I started right at 6, and then I get beeped at. So, hi everyone, and welcome to my special Bell Let's Talk Facebook Live, January 25th, 2017. So, I am Morgan Zaretsky, and I'm sorry. You'll have to excuse my harsh voice and the coughing and the sniffling during this video. I've been fighting the flu since last weekend, so I have my Halls, I have my Kleenex, and my water. So if I all of a sudden scooch over here, that's what I'm doing. So, hi Dina, thanks for coming. So I am Morgan Zaretsky, and I'm a life coach. I'm the creator of Naturessence personal wellness coaching, which helps people use a connection with nature to cope with stress, anxiety, and depression. So today being Bell Let's Talk Day, dealing with mental health and creating awareness, I wanted to do this special video for all of you to share my story about depression. Hi. And raise awareness about Bell Let's Talk. So, if anyone doesn't know Bell Let's Talk Day, the battery's gonna die on my notes. 1 second. So, Bell Let's Talk Day. Don't go away. I'm still here. Okay. And I'm back. My laptop battery is gonna die. Okay. Bell Let's Talk Day started in 2010, and since then they've donated $100 million to for the support and promotion of mental health in Canada. And they're about raising awareness and support and opening up the stigmatism of mental health by talking about it. Hi Leslie, hi Mark, thanks for coming. Glad you're here. So the whole idea behind Bell Let's Talk Day is that, other than raising money, obviously, because every time you use the hashtag or tweet or talk or text, they donate 5 cents to mental health initiatives. But apart from that, it's to open up space for discussion about mental health and mental health awareness, and allow people to tell their stories. And because talking is the best way to break down the barriers and the stigmatisms around mental health. So I wanted to get involved with this, and I've been on my own trying to help raise awareness about mental health by starting my own video blog and YouTube channel, sharing my stories with depression and trying to bring some positive tips and things people can do to live happier, healthier lives, especially as far as stress, anxiety, and depression go. So I really wanted to just come here and tell my story, and for Bell Let's Talk. So, my story. Who the heck am I? Hey Sherry, thanks for coming. So, my story. I personally have battled depression. Still battle depression, I guess. It's not something like the flu, which I also have. But it's a constant, ongoing thing. So, right now I'm doing really well, but a few years ago, during the summer after my first year of university, I had severe depression, and it was triggered by a breakup. A very emotional breakup that caught me completely off guard, and to say that I was blindsided and devastated is putting it lightly. So, this individual who I've been dating for about 2 years I was madly in love with this man. I thought he was my soulmate. I thought we were going to spend the rest of our lives together, and, I was 17, young love. Can you blame me? But anyway, I thought we were going to be together forever just because I wanted it that way, and what could possibly go wrong? And then to have this person who I loved and trusted and thought was the only person in the world who truly understood me and who really, truly loved me, one day was just like, no, I don't want you in my life anymore. Go, get out. So I was devastated, I was heartbroken, and I was consumed with grief and anger and just so much pain. So much pain that it physically hurt. It felt like I was having a heart attack with all of these emotions just overflowing that I didn't know how to do with it, and I didn't not handle it very well. So I chose at the time to bury my emotions. I was in university and I had a really heavy course load. I was taking a lot of biology and environmental science classes. So I chose, rather than to deal with the emotions, I chose to bury them. Hi Carla, thanks for coming. If you're just joining now, I have a flu and I lost my voice a couple days ago, so you'll have to excuse the hauls and occasional water breaks. Sorry about that. And the coughing. Excuse me. So, I chose to bury my emotions because I didn't know how to deal with them. And what that did was essentially, it was like, sorry, I had a much better way to say it. So, the effect of that was essentially blowing a breaker in your house. I blew a breaker, and before that, I had this huge surge of emotions all over the place, and then it was just like, nothing. Done. Hi Lane. And then I used that heavy course load in university to make sure that switch never turned back on. And for 2 years, I went through the motions of being a human. I could laugh when something was funny. I could smile when it was socially appropriate. I went to school. I got decent grades. I went through all the motions of things that I thought people wanted me to do and would make me look normal and that everything was okay. But I wasn't okay. And on the inside, I didn't feel any of it. It was just, there was outside shell of Morgan, inside there was nothing going on. Because I switched that emotional switch off and I did not allow it to come back on. And though I didn't know it, I was very, very deeply depressed, and I never planned my suicide. I never quite got to that extent, but I was at the extent where I didn't care if I lived or died. I would walk to university every day and, think, oh, maybe today I'll slip on ice and crack my head open, and, no one would blame me for that. It would be okay because no one would miss me because no one loves me. And I'm sharing this with everyone not because that's how I feel now or because that's how I want anyone to think of me or I want anyone to feel bad about me, because I don't want anyone to feel bad. This is my past. This is what happened. But I think that I suffered for much more than I needed to and much longer than I needed to, because I was afraid to talk about it, because I was afraid to tell anyone what was happening and what I was feeling, and I didn't know who to tell or how to tell it or how to explain it, or how to describe it. I didn't even know that there was necessarily anything wrong or that there was anything to fix. I thought I was the only one that would have ever gone through something like this. I didn't know that I had depression. I didn't know that that was a thing and that that could be triggered by a traumatic event. And I was so afraid that if I told someone that I was still hung up on this relationship that I'd been in high school, and that it was still affecting me and I still thought about it over and over and over again, I was afraid people would belittle me. I was afraid they'd make fun of me, that they'd cut me down, or they'd tell me just to snap out of it, or they'd make fun of me. I honestly thought that's what people would do, and the people that I did trust and the ones that I did tell something to would make comments like, "Oh, you're so young, you don't know what love is," or "It's just Travis, like, come on, get over it." Like, really, for him? And, you know, like, "I'm actually happy you're not together anymore. I'm glad you broke up. You're better off without him. You'll find someone better." And these kind of comments from the people that I did trust enough to go to, actually made me feel more ashamed of the emotion that I was feeling and how rotten I was feeling, because it made it feel like it was something I should have been over a long time ago, and it was something I shouldn't be dealing with, and I was silly for having these feelings. When in reality it wasn't something that I was able at that time to snap out of, and it was, for me, it was a very real relationship, and it was a very traumatic experience to be thrown out of it like that. So, like I was saying, I didn't know that I had depression. Hi Jesse, hi Danica, hi Ray, hi Norman. I'm so happy you're here. If you're just joining right now, I'm just going through my personal story for Bell Let's Talk Day, and then in a second I'm going to tell you about my tip for everyone supporting someone with mental health. So, I didn't know that what I had was depression, and that's what I was feeling, and I definitely didn't know that what was holding me in this depression and what was keeping me down was me. It was my stubborn beliefs and my stubborn outlook and my compulsion to bury those emotions rather than just to live them. And now I understand that by burying them, you actually hold them inside of you and you're reliving them over and over and over again, versus if you just live them in the moment. As painful as that is, when you live them, you process them and you deal with them, and then you can move on. So it's painful at the moment, but then you can move on. And when you just bury them, you don't move on, so you just relive them over and over and over, and what's supposed to be just painful once is painful 100 times. So, and it wasn't until I realized this and until I got the help that I needed, which I didn't go to willingly. I was, not willingly, I wasn't forced, but eventually I found someone who did love me for me and who supported me and wanted what was best for me, and it was him who said that this is not normal. You need to go for help. You need to talk to a doctor. You need help. And I don't know if it had come from if it hadn't come from him, if I ever would have come to that conclusion on my own. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor validated what I said and didn't make fun of me the way I was expecting to be made fun of, and didn't tell me to snap out of it. She told me, no, you have depression. What you feel is real. What you're going through is real. And it's very common, and I suggest that you go on antidepressants. And that was the first time that someone had actually validated what I was feeling and put a name to it. Excuse me, I'm just gonna have some water. So I went on the antidepressants, and I felt better. I felt more me. I was able to, the emotions didn't come rushing back, but all of a sudden they were just kind of, everything was just kind of, you know, normal ups and downs again. And then I went to counseling, and I learned how to talk about it and how to deal with things and what was normal. And yeah, people go through this, and this is how you cope with it in a healthy way. And this is how you express what you're feeling in a healthy way. And since then, I've learned a lot of amazing tips and strategies and how to change my outlook about things. But for today, that was things are a lot better today because of the help that I got, and because of being able to share my story to professionals who were there to support me. And now I want to share that with other people. That's why I'm coming on this Facebook Live, to share my story with people and why I support Bell Let's Talk Day, about breaking down the stigmatisms of mental health and the barriers about talking about it. And I also wanted to share what I thought coming through that whole experience, and being the person who'd never heard of depression, to the person living depression, to the person now dealing with depression in holistic ways versus just with the pharmaceuticals. Hi Stephanie, so glad you're here. Thanks for coming. So because I've lived all these different parts, now I hear, and now that I can talk about it, I hear a lot of people coming back and saying, yeah, I've had depression, or yeah, I feel like that, or yeah, I was on antidepressants or on any anxieties, and it affects so many people that you don't realize it until you start talking about it, and then they can talk about it. So my in a roundabout way, now I'm coming back to it, my number one tip for supporting someone you love through mental health issues is to never, ever, 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 ever let them fade to the bottom of your friend list, and to never let them fall out of your circle. So, and what I mean by that is when you're flipping through the contacts on your phone and you're looking at your friends and thinking about who you want to invite to your dinner party on Saturday, and then you come to, we'll call her Mandy for this, you come to Mandy in your contact and you think, oh, why would I? No, I'm not going to invite Mandy. She always says no, or she says yes, and then she cancels at the last minute, and she never shows up, or she always bails. This time, I'm just not going to invite Mandy. And you might have invited Mandy to 100 different dinner parties, or 100 get-togethers or gatherings or out for drinks before, and 100 times she's said no. She's dropped it. But I invite her again. Invite her 100 more times. Never let this person fall from your friend of circle, or your circle of friends, or your social circle, whatever you want to call it. And why? Why is this my number one? Sorry, other halls. I'm trying to keep my voice for you guys. Excuse me. Why is this my number one? This is my number one tip because you never know what it means to that person to get a call from you, or to get a text or an email from you saying, hey, I'm doing this on Saturday, do you want to come? Or, hey, I'm watching this movie, it made me think of you. Or anything, just text them and say something. And it might, and even though these people might continuously say no, I can't come, no, I don't want to go, or no, I'm busy, or I'm so sorry, you don't know what it means to them just that you thought of them. And they might think yes and say no, but the fact that you thought of them might be the best thing that happened to them that day. And so, and the reason that I think this is the number one thing that I want people to know is because, and it's not because I read it on a Facebook survey, or it's something that, you know, it's Oprah's one of the things she knows for sure. It's because when I was Mandy, and when I felt that because this one person didn't love me, that no one must love me, I wanted so desperately for someone to prove me wrong. And I just wanted someone to text and say hello. When I was feeling completely alone, and like if I wasn't on this planet anymore, no one would notice. One text from just one person, whether they were my mom or my best friend or just an acquaintance from class, meant everything. And because it meant that someone still thought of me, and if I wasn't around, someone would notice. And so it's what I would want. It's what I wanted. Not necessarily when I was in the time what I knew to ask for, but now looking back on it, just not feeling so alone or not feeling so isolated would have been probably the best thing anyone could have done for me. And I have a friend who deals with PTSD or symptoms of PTSD. I don't think she's ever actually been diagnosed, but she lost a child. She had a stillborn baby, and obviously that hit her really hard. And she had, afterwards, she had a lot of anxiety because of it, and we would invite her out. This is someone I've known for a very long time. We have a very close circle of friends, and we like to get together, the whole group of us, all the time, and have girls' night. And we would invite her out. Sorry, excuse me. We would invite this friend to come out with us, and she'd say, yeah, I'm coming, I can't wait to see you guys. And then at the last moment, I'm not coming. I don't want to leave the house. I'm in my pajamas. Or, I'm not coming, I have to go with this friend. And she'd always bail at the last moment, and it was really, for us on the other side, it was really frustrating, because we're like, oh, is her other friend more important than us? Is, like, what's going on? Why doesn't she want to hang out with us anymore? Why is she being such a bummer? And so one of the girls approached her about it and said, what's going on? What do you want us, like, what's happening? And she said, I can't handle it. I can't leave my house. I can barely go to work. She's like, I have panic attacks. I can't leave my house. Just the thought of going to see certain people or to be in a group of people or a certain place, just, I shut down and I can't go. And we didn't know. We had no idea that that's why she was bailing on us, is because of her anxiety. And when asked, what do you want us to do? How can we help you? She simply said, don't stop texting me. She's like, I might bail on you 100 more times, and I can't promise that I won't, but don't stop texting me. And so that's what I wanted, and that's what she wanted, and that was the best thing that our friends could have done for either one of us. So if you have someone in your life who all of a sudden is dropping off the face of the planet, or they've admitted that they have depression, or that they don't feel right all the time, or they have panic attacks, or they have trouble in crowds, whatever it may be, just don't stop inviting them. Even if you know that they're not going to want to go to this event, just the fact that you thought of them and that they're still in your contacts, they still come up on your phone, you think of them and you would like them there, even just letting that be known, excuse me, is the best thing you can do. Regardless of whether they come out or not, or whether it's something that they would come out to or not, it's just the idea that you're making that contact. You're reaching out to them and saying, I know you're still there. And even if you can't come to this event, I want you to still be my friend. I still love you. I'm glad that you're still here. And I miss you. And it'll take 3 seconds out of your day, but it could be the best thing that happens in their day. And you never know when. And if it seems really small, consider the people that you lose too soon, and you're sitting, you might, by the time you realize that you should have contacted them more, you might be writing, their eulogy. Not necessarily that they'll die of their mental health issue, but how many times when we do lose someone, we think, I wish I would have gone to see them. I wish I would have made that phone call when I was thinking of it. I should have invited them over for supper. And hi, Anne. Thanks so much for coming. Yes, don't stop asking. Stay in touch. It's the most important thing you can do. Whether you think it's helping them or not, it is. Just to know that they're not alone in this world. So that's my story. If it helps you, please share it with people. Please like it, comment, share. If anyone has any comments or suggestions or takeaways, please write them in the comment box. I can see them when they pop up. Anything you want to share, or anything that you want to share privately, you can send me a private message on Facebook, or you can email me at naturessencecoaching@outlook.com. I'd love to talk to you more about that, and I'd love to help anyone who needs help and support. I also offer through my coaching practice, I have a Naturessence. It's a stick-step 90-day program, and it's designed to help you work through the exact same steps that I used to naturally get off of antidepressants and to change your mindset, change your focus, as well as to just use to get outdoors into nature, to build yourself a community of support to cope with your anxiety, your stress, and your depression in life naturally, the way your body was made to do it. I think that's it. I don't see anyone typing any comments, but if you do think of anything later, please feel free to comment later or send me an email, Facebook message, whatever. I get them all, and I'd love to talk to you more. And happy Bell Let's Talk Day, everyone. Make sure you use the hashtag for every time you text, talk, tweet, share, whatever, call. Today, 5 cents gets donated to mental health initiatives. So, bye everyone. Talk to you later. Thanks so much for coming. Love y'all. Oh, now I don't know how to quit it. Now I'm stuck. Oh, finished. Okay, now I'm bye. Bye.